Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Okay, so, I'm getting really bored of shooting in the kitchen, honestly. Plus my wife makes me do the dishes every time I film, so to avoid that, I thought we'd do the intros and outros today from the office slash music room slash nerve center of Record-ology here. And you can only see a part of what we've got going on. So, a little tour for you. We have the computers over here, a couple different computers, do a couple different things. We have some monitors, you can see one of them up here. VHS, Blu-ray, two turntables at any given time. Right now I've got the LP3. I love this thing, fully automatic. I was listening to it all day yesterday. I've got the LP120X USB over here, our Crosley S100 powered speakers, and then behind me we've got a Phono Pluto preamp, and then I'm going to scoot out of the way a little bit, and you can see the stack here. We've got the, I've got a mechanical switch. I've got two tape decks, the Sony and the Pioneer, Kenwood tuner, symphonic 5-disc player, and then the Sony S7000 single disc player, which is muy bueno. So anyway, I know the lighting is not ideal in here. That's actually why I don't film in here more often, because I've got two light bulbs, like 60-watt light bulbs, and that's it. Now I have from time to time like put a lamp behind the camera and stuff, and I'm just not feeling like doing all that today, so we're just gonna make do with what it is. So I apologize, it's grainy and the color temperatures are off and stuff like that. So anyway, today I thought we'd look at the Crosley Collegiate. Now this is a great portable turntable that we have featured a lot early on in the older shows of Record-ology. I, as you can imagine, have stockpiled a lot of equipment and things, and a lot of it we haven't seen on the show in a long time, so I thought, this is a great time to pull out some of this stuff and look at things we haven't looked at before. So rather than do like a regular review of the Crosley Collegiate, because we've done that before, and if not, I would encourage you to go back and say, I'm going to put a link right up here for you to go see that if you haven't done so already. But the Collegiate's an interesting player, and I thought, you know what we need to do, and we haven't done on this player, is take it apart. And I know that the teardown videos have been kind of popular lately, so let's start tearing some more stuff apart. That sounds like fun to me. So we're going to tear it apart, see how it works, get inside it, all that good stuff. You are not going to want to miss this.
This is Record-ology.
Okay guys, sorry about the lighting on that. That might be just a little too grainy. I'm going to have to figure out how to do that better going forward. But check this out, guys. This is the Crosley Collegiate. Now, I believe this is discontinued now, which is a shame because it's really cool. I really like this unit. It kind of reminds me of those classroom record players from back in the day, although when I was a kid, it was more tape players, but they did have this blue and white coloring, so it really does remind me of that. This unit has been really great for me, very rugged. Power supply is right down here. I wish more portable record players had a place to put the power supply. I think that's genius. And I'm not sure how this opening is going to fit into the overall enclosure in terms of, how much space is available inside or whatnot. But interesting stuff. I just think it's cool. It's obviously designed to kind of look like a car with the hood lifting up. Although the lid doesn't stay on. You kind of have to take it apart. It took me a while to get used to that. I was kind of like, really? Shouldn't that stay attached? But it actually makes sense. If it just hinged up, it wouldn't have room for all three sizes of records, including 12-inch records. This is 3-speed stereo, obviously. It does play 78s, 45s, got the adapter back there, as well as regular 12-inch LP. Here are the volume and tone controls, as well as the headphone jack. The volume knob is also your power switch. And on the side here, you've got your aux in and your USB connection so you can dub records onto MP3. My friend via Westlife gave me this little pro tip here. This actually has a built-in counterweight that's adjustable. It doesn't say anything about that anywhere, but you can adjust the counterweight, which is really cool. And you know what? This unit really, really works good. It's got the auto start-stop switch as well as the 3-speed selector switch. And this unit has been rugged as heck for me. As you can see, it's got a very unique tone arm. As Crosley really got a lot of feedback that people wanted magnetic cartridges, which this has, versus the standard ceramic ones that were found on a lot of the entry-level equipment. This is the assembly they use. So this same tone arm is found on the Nomad and other units as well. And it's a great, great tone arm. The only problem is there's no cueing lever, which drives me crazy. That's really the only negative thing I can say about this unit. They really need to put a cueing lever on it. Okay, enough of that. Let's go ahead and listen to a record on it so you can get an idea of the sound.
most is mine. Loving you.
A little Don Gibson there, and not Don Gibson of Gibson Guitars, I found out. Just Don Gibson, the somewhat famous country music guitar player. All right, let's go ahead and dig into it, you guys. We're going to pop the circlip off and take a look under the hood. This is a very unique looking platter. I really haven't seen this mechanism on anything else. It kind of looks like the typical Skywind suitcase model, but there are differences, most notably the fact that it's got a magnetic cartridge. Oh, look at these bushings right here. Isn't this weird? So it kind of absorbs going up, but not down. So if you push down on the assembly, it's kind of rigid. But if you pull up on it, it's got some, adjustment. I wonder, should those bushings be on the bottom side maybe? I'm not sure. There's the top side of that compartment right there. I'm not sure why there's 3 sort of protrusions there. Maybe that's for the prongs, ideally, to push into, although it doesn't really line up. Now, if we look down in the crack here, we can see the speakers. Kind of hard to see it from this angle, so we're going to dig into it further. First thing that really blew my mind as we started taking this apart was that there was so much wood, that the plinth was an MDF, and I say wood, it's MDF, medium density fiberboard, but essentially a wood product. The plinth is made entirely out of wood, and so is all the support structuring underneath the plinth, and then it's wrapped in sort of this vinyl kind of leatherette material. Now, as I dug into it a little bit, I noticed that this tone arm was blocking this control board, which was underneath this front piece here. So all the screws are pretty easy to get to, but I had to kind of finagle it around. It was kind of like a bit of Tetris. Move it here, then you could access this, yada, yada, yada. And this is actual footage of me disassembling the unit. I was teasing in the other video that we, acted like we were doing it with one screwdriver and then really did it off camera. But this is pretty much, a deep dive into it. This isn't going to be as long of a video, but I did want you guys to see what this unit was made of and what it looked like when you got it all apart. Now, the speakers are mounted into another MDF assembly as well, which is kind of interesting, and you'll see that in closer detail. Now that we've got all 4 anchor bolts out, we can lift up the plinth, and again, it's wood. I thought this thing was going to be solid plastic, but it is not. It's metal, wood, and plastic. So this mechanism, or this board in the front, is attached with a series of cables with clips. So I was able to actually remove it. It is a little bit easier than I thought. And the wiring, is pretty simple. You've got a power harness, you've got a logic harness, and you've got left and right speaker harnesses. So let's take a little bit of a closer look here at what we've got under the turntable's platter assembly, and we'll see what kind of makes it go. As you can see, lots of weird blocking material and whatnot. Very, very bizarre. There's the motor, pretty typical motor, and attached to that we've got the logic board that will allow you to adjust speeds of the 78 and control power. This is the bottom of the tone arm. So as you can see, as the tone arm rotates over, it disengages this switch. And this switch is what the auto start and auto stop is. So that's pretty cool to see how that works. Very unique. Now, once you take it out, look at this. It's cavernous. It's huge. It's empty. It's hollow. Now, here's the back side of the control board. Now, if you see that sort of turquoise rounded top piece right there, that is a potentiometer for the on and off and volume control. That's made by Soundwell, and they make those for Sony, for all kinds of big companies. Really cool to see that quality component in this unit. Now, let's take a look at those speakers, you guys. These speakers actually sound very, very good. As you can tell, they're very beefy. The magnet is almost the entire width of the cone. There's a couple of bass ports. You can see them briefly right there. So the sound you get on this unit is actually quite amazing. Look at that. Also notice this metal bracket and this other one right here. These hold up the plinth. So the plinth is held up by a nice metal framework, which is really good.
Love you, they say that we will never part.
Putting it back together, we obviously have an issue here. It is squirrel time. We're hearing chipmunks again. And you know what? I'm having bad thoughts about what if this is what I've been doing with all these record players lately, is when I take them apart, somehow I'm jacking up the speed. The speed's totally messed up. If you look at the strobe disc here, and I'm not going to go into excruciating detail on it again, but somehow the speed is whacked. I didn't touch the speed controls at all. I have no idea what I did. I took it apart, put it back together, and all of a sudden the motor speeds are way out of whack. So I really wasn't looking forward to having to do this on this unit, but I'm going to take it all the way apart again. Don't worry, I'm going to do it off camera, and we're going to have to adjust the speed. Well, I do part of it on camera. I did all the dirty work on camera. So we're going to do kind of what we did before in the other video. We're going to put the strobe disc onto the platter while it's disassembled. Kids, don't do this at home. It's never good to get inside of this thing, especially when you have to plug it in like I'm about to, and make those adjustments right down here. The 2 adjustments on the motor for 33 and 45, and then the one on that blue block for 78. So we're going to go ahead and put the strobe disc on, and I'm going to tilt it up and make those adjustments. And I'm not going to make you sit through that entire process, but I want to show you what it looks like when it finally does come into correct speed. So in a second here, I'm going to flip to another shot where I am adjusting the corrected speeds, and you'll be able to see those inner rings there. The outermost of the inner rings is 33, and it is going to go into position now. And then we're going to flip to 45, and when 45 locks in, there it goes. We know that that's properly set, and then 78 on the innermost ring, and we are ready to rock and roll finally. So I just made those adjustments like I did in the last video, and we're squared away. So I'm testing it one more time, and then turning it off. Enough of that already. So I was really interested to learn that this unit has so much wood on the inside. I had no idea about that. Like I said, I've been lugging this thing around for years now. It's been, you know, totally rough housed. It's been handled. It doesn't have that cueing lever, so, you know, my shaky hands have, you know, sort of been really rough with that assembly, and it's held up. It's done a great job. The sound is good. It's reliable, and I would highly recommend one of these. If you can buy one used, it would be a solid buy. It's a great all-around record player and totally portable as well. It's awesome.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. That was cool. I love looking at the inside of stuff. So what are you guys up to? Tell me what it's all about. Are you guys enjoying some records that you've bought, you know, dusting off maybe something you haven't listened to in a while and really just enjoying them and listening to them? What turntable are you using most lately? What's your favorite one at the moment? I kind of phase in and out of different players. Sometimes, you know, I really like a U-turn turntable. Sometimes I really just like the automatic. You know, neither of these tables are the most expensive ones by any means, but you know, I like them for whatever reason. And just because something is expensive doesn't mean you have to like it best. So if you like something that's, you know, very inexpensive or what other people might call cheap, who cares what they think? If you like it, that's all that matters. Just have fun, you know what I mean? One of my favorite record players is this Christmas suitcase player that we reviewed last year, and I was telling my wife the other day, there are a lot of record players, you know, I'm fine to not have anymore. We can sell them, we can gift them, whatever, but that is one that I'm not going to get rid of. The Christmas record player, I just love that thing. Now, obviously, not everybody has the opportunity to have, you know, a choice of record players. So for a long time, my one record player, in fact, it's over there right now. There's even more that you can't see, but in terms of stuff in this room. But the one record player that I did have was my $32 record player, and we did a show about that a long time ago. Brand new record player for $32, and it was 2 speeds. It used the same, you know, sort of Skywind mechanism that a lot of the suitcase players do. A very simple unit, but it's what I had, and so I loved it. I made the best of it, and it's another one that I couldn't sell because it's got a lot of sentimental value. So whatever you have, enjoy that. And that, you know, it's a piece of advice a mentor of mine gave me. He says, you know, whatever God blesses you with in terms of tools and equipment or whatever, do the best you can with what you have, and then if you're faithful, you may be blessed with more. So I would encourage you to do the same thing. And that obviously goes way beyond record players or these kind of toys that we're talking about. But, you know, whatever you're, you know, doing constructively in your life, do the best with what you have, even if that's nothing. So anyway, guys, my encouragement to you today, hang in there, have fun, hunker down, stay safe out there. Love you guys. Happy record listening, and we'll see you in just a couple of days. And maybe sooner than that, because I've been thinking about just throwing up some videos in between shows, just playing records and stuff. I did one the other day on the Vita Nola. Hope you guys enjoyed that. So we'll see you soon. Hang in there.